Hello everyone, and welcome along to Darklord and Darklady's trip to Greece. We had a few inquiries from our members and they wanted to see where we were. This is Nea Moudania, and here's a bit of a video shot showing you exactly what it looked like at the seafront. While we're there, this is what we've been up to for the last 3 or 4 weeks. A couple of things you've got to remember is that the tourist season's ended when we went there, and the video and stills that are shown in this movie were only taken on a handheld mobile phone, so I apologise in advance for the quality and hope that it doesn't spoil your enjoyment too much. Another shot taken from the village where we were, and this was on the new part of the village, taken from a car, so again sorry for the stability issues. I have put an auto stability system in place, but it's done its best, but again I hope it doesn't spoil your enjoyment too much. This is Nea Moudania at the seafront. Again, it's a little quiet at this time of the year. Normally it's packed solid with holiday makers, but the season had ended when we got there, which was good for us really, because it let us have a bit of time so we could actually look around with a bit of peace and quiet, not bustle and jostle with people. So I'll just let you watch this, and this is on the seafront. As you can tell, although it was a little overcast with the weather, it was very warm. We were looking at around about 26 degrees centigrade on this particular day. It had rained overnight, but it was fine during the day. I think we only had 2 days when it was overcast out of our 3+ weeks there. All these on your left hand side are holiday apartments to let, and they go way back 2-3 blocks deep, so there's quite a lot of accommodation there. As you can see, it's quite a lengthy sized resort. This is in Halkidiki, on the first foot of the peninsula. You can see how close you are to the sea there. So we're coming up to the end of this first video shot, and we're going to have some stills. All these stills are from the village of Nea Potidaia, various roads in the village, or streets I should say. That's the square in the centre of the village, and again from a different angle the square, and the fountain, which changes patterns as you can see. And this is back out on the east side of the village, and the old part of the village now, down near the marina. As you can see, the boats there on the side of the marina. That's the Marina Seafood Restaurant, and now we're going to take a look from inside there. Video shot of the view from the marina restaurant. As you can see, this is inside the marina looking out over the sea, and you can just see the old castle walls partly submerged in the sea there, directly in front of you in the picture. Does lovely food, does the marina. And now I'm going to show you a 360-degree panorama from the village centre, village square. This again is still in Nea Potidaia. So this is the old village. Just doing a 360-degree panorama for you so you can see what it's like. And this is down near the new part of the village. It's the main road is at the top across the bridge. That's the canal, and leading down to part of the marina there with a couple of small islands which you'll come across. It'll come into the view on the right in a few seconds. People fish from these islands. Again, at this point we're still in Nea Potidaia. And again on the seafront in the new part of Nea Potidaia. These are cafes on the seafront beach area. Obviously that's not beach, but it leads onto the beach. I'm back into the square now, the central square of the village. And just behind the local bar where I used to sort of hang about. That's the rear of it. The local fisherman in the marina just brought his catch in at that point. And now we're moving on to a village a little bit further south on the first foot. This village is Hanioti. A lot of Brits actually stay here. It's very British oriented. And after we finish with this clip, you will see I do a clip from the village square, and most of the bars there are geared up for sky sports, whereas a lot of the other bars to the north in Greece have the local Nova satellite. These ones in Hanioti, because they're frequented by a lot of Brits, have actual sky sports. So this is the village square. Beautiful little village actually. The fountain actually changes patterns similar to them. You find that most of the villages actually have a little central water feature of some sort or another anyway. There is another pattern to the left hand side of the fountain that sets off, but I didn't quite catch it. I think you might have caught it at the beginning of the video, but I was waiting for it to kick in. As you can tell, it kept hovering that sort of area, but it must only come on about every 5 minutes or so, and I didn't have enough video time to capture it in all its glory really. Now follows some still shots of the village. That's just down a side street, and now we've got a couple of shots of the main street there. And again, if you notice the large satellite dishes, which are Sky Sports. Now we're in Nea Moudania. This is a small town which a lot of Greeks seem to claim that it's the unofficial capital of Chalkidiki, the official being Polygyros, mainly because it's got all the administrative areas in there. However, Nea Moudania has more facilities, shall we say, for your normal everyday needs. Here's a video from the jetty taken of the waterfront area of Nea Moudania. As you can see, it's quite a large town, and there's a boat coming into view on the right soon that's virtually permanently moored there. They send a small craft to the shore for supplies and seem to live there. The boat just rotates around with the sun, I think, to keep the sun on the sun deck or something, so they can sun themselves. That's your panorama from there. Now here's Nea Moudania again. This is the local sort of harbour that I took a shot of. Obviously it's a lot busier when the tourist season's there. You can see in the distance some larger cargo ships unloading and loading up. And now we're about halfway along the beach here in the car, again Nea Moudania, and just to give you some idea of the length of the beach. We can't see it all because we have to turn off on the road before we get to the end, but it'll give you some sort of an idea. In summer this is pretty busy, but at this time of year you'll see some people we pass on the road who are walking who've got coats on actually, and would you believe it's like 26, 28 degrees this particular day when we were there. Amazing. And we were in t-shirts, and these guys, because the locals, they had coats and fleeces on. You can see mile upon mile of nice beach there. To be honest, I don't know why the season ends so early. I mean, to us Brits at least, we could perfectly enjoy ourselves in that sort of weather. At this time of year especially. As you can see, there's still beach still going on as far as you can see right the way down to the town. Unfortunately we have to turn here, as it's just a track that goes further on. Coming up onto the outskirts, this is just the outskirt area now. Various facilities for people on the beach enjoying themselves and what have you. So this video shot's coming to an end now, and then we're going to a small village called Pefkochori, which is on the second foot of the peninsula. That's coming up in a second or two. And here we are. You see the fish in the tank there. They're like small tables with aquariums inside in one of the cafes there. And this is a video of the harbour. This is Pefkochori. Oh, sorry, my mistake. This is Nea Marmaras. Sorry, it's not Pefkochori. It's Nea Marmaras. And then the same, Nea Marmaras, looking from the other side of the harbour. Noticed a little island out there, and a few boats in, and this is looking the other way, another video shot the other way. And the next shot's up Pefkochori. Notice the church there, Nea Marmaras. Now we're in Pefkochori. Notice the beach huts. and the beach umbrellas. That's a bit better shot to see what the seating looks like in the beach huts and the tables, and a bit of a video there. And if you look very, very closely, you'll see Darklady in the sea waving in a few seconds. I don't know whether we see her on the forward one or the reverse one. There she's there, in between the shades. But she'll start waving if you notice when we pan back. And you just keep a sharp eye out, and you'll see her any second now. There you go, there's her waving, there's Darklady waving in the sea while I was shooting the videos. So that was Pefkochori. Next coming up is Porto Carras. You can see a distant shot of the hotel, and that's Marina B. They have two marinas. That's Marina B. We didn't get a shot of Marina A, which is around the other side of the hotel. You see the large hotel complex there, the three buildings there. This is a video shot of from there, taken from the top of the hillside. You can see Marina B for the hotel. This is all the hotel complex. Even the land we were stood on belongs to the hotel complex. That's a close-up shot of Marina B and one of the hotels. And this is taken from inside the hotel on the balcony of the pools they have at the back of the hotel, leading onto the seafront. You see the water slide there. You can see there's a few people about there even then, even though it's not really the season. There are a few people still about. This is Thessaloniki now. That's the Ote Tower. That's the White Tower, which is on the seafront. Here's a guy with a horse and cart that takes people around for trips. There's 2 or 3 of them do that actually. And a shot of the park over the road. That's one of 3 tourist ships that take people out. It's free to get onto the ship. You just buy a drink on it. That's the inside of the ship we were on. We took a trip on. You'll see a video from there in a few moments. This is sort of like the seafront area of Thessaloniki. You can see the city goes as far as you can see in both directions. We were in the centre there. We were by the White Tower, and that was looking south. These are photos taken from the ship that we went out on, and one of the squares there in Thessaloniki. And this video was taken, we'd left by the White Tower and we were heading south at this point on the south part of the city. The trip does a loop round, and then it comes in from the north side of the city. It doesn't actually get to the end of either end of the city. The trip takes about 30 minutes, and coming in you'll get a better view of the city because we come really close to the land, and we follow it down. That'll be in the next video clip, which will be the last video clip that will be shown. As you can see, it's quite a large city. Again, this day again was a little overcast, but again very warm, very pleasant. You didn't really need a coat. We were looking at around about 26, 27 at this point. So that's degrees centigrade. As you can see, it's quite a large city. Thessaloniki is the second largest city in Greece. Something like 2 million inhabitants. But of course in the tourist season that does increase. As you can see, the city still goes on as far as the eye can see, even though we're quite a way out at sea at this point. And this next video clip, we were approaching, this is Thessaloniki still, we were approaching from the north side coming into where the ship berths, pretty close to the front, as you can see, and I got some great shots of some of the lovely buildings and side streets down here. A little bit later on in the video, the boat swings away from the waterfront so that it can move to its berth stern on and drop a ramp down so we can disembark. As you can see, it's quite a busy, thriving place, even though we're out of season here. So you can just imagine what it must be like when it's in full swing with tourists from all over the world visiting. You can see the side streets going all the way up there. Goes on for quite some way. It's quite a large city. Not really much to say at this point. You can see what needs to be seen. I do hope that the quality of the images and the fact that they're not quite as stable as they could have been haven't spoiled your pleasure at watching. Sly fox there, which I never quite got into, but I thought could be some sort of bar. I would have liked to have a look in there, but we didn't have enough time really. It wasn't too far away from where the ship berths. As you can see, we're starting to pull away from the waterfront now. The ship's captain is starting to turn the bow out so that he can line the stern up with the berth and reverse it in. Apartments. And as you can see, we're pulling further and further out by the second now. There's another Savoy. Anybody can say they've been to the Savoy. You can say you've been to the Savoy if you're going there. Very soon we'll be coming into view on the right hand side. You will get a glimpse of the White Tower again, which is where we set off from on this trip, and that will be the end of the video footage, because then the boat just swings out to sea and reverses in to the berth. It's coming up in the next few seconds. On the right hand side you'll see it, and there we go, there's the White Tower just coming into view now. literally maybe 100 yards past there where we've got along this area here. Well, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to keep viewing all our videos that we put up for you on Learn for Free channel here on YouTube. Thanks very much, guys.